Hello everyone, this is Susan Malloy of Silver Lady Stamping, and we're going to take a look at how to make this fun toolbox using the Vintage Tools stamp set, which I'll show you. This is the Vintage Tools stamp set. I actually got the idea for this toolbox from Shannon of Elizabeth's Craft Room, and Liz is in the UK. She didn't make a toolbox though. She made a garden box, you know, with a handle and everything. But hers was a garden box. So she used like a green cardstock, and she had a daffodil, a flower attached to it. But as I was watching her make the box, I thought the design was perfect for a toolbox and the Vintage Tools stamp set. So I decided to give it a try, and I was very happy with the outcome. So I double stamped each of the tools and then glued them back to back so that when I put them in the box, if you flip it over, you'll be able to see the images from the back as well. And then the front, I used the silver foil specialty paper, and then I embossed it with the metal plate 3D embossing folder that was part of the Ready to Ride suite. And this is being carried over to the new 2023 catalog. So I'm going to set this aside. Oh, wait, before I do that, well, let me show you the other one that I did, the other box that I did. I said, oh, it's too nice. I did one in pink because I thought, you know what, you got to include the ladies. And we have a lot of ladies out there who, they know how to fix things. They know how to tinker with things. And I just thought it was, I just thought it was a fun toolbox. So the sentiments on this one are from the Hydrangea Haven, and also the ones on the back, same stamp set, Hydrangea Haven. So I'm going to show you how to make this one. Now these are both good for Mother's Day, Father's Day, and for birthday, or whenever, just because. So I think these are just super cute. And then I'm going to fill them with Hershey's Kisses. So this one I'm going to put the silver foiled Hershey Kisses, and in this one I'm going to put those purple foil dark chocolate kisses. So let me just show you what we're going to be doing. So this is going to be the base of the box, and it's a piece of basic gray, and it's cut at 8 inches by 6. And then it's scored on all 4 sides at 1 3/4 on all 4 sides. That makes it pretty easy. Then once you do that, on the long side, we're going to cut up the score line up to the first cross score line, and then you're going to trim off just like a sliver on the corners to kind of reduce the bulk, because these are going to be the corners that we're going to fold in to make the box, and so we want to kind of reduce the bulk around the edges. Okay. And you don't have to worry about being too, it doesn't have to be pristine. All right, we'll turn it around again on the long side. We'll cut it again up to the score line. Cut a sliver. And last one. Okay. All right, so this is what it should look like. Now we're going to just fold the two ends and put some adhesive. I'm going to use liquid glue, and then we'll attach it and attach the sides. And I'm going to put it on both sides. Okay. And I'm going to line up the edges. Hold that in place. Same thing on the other side. Okay, and then this side as well. Okay, and then, so this is our box. This is the base. Pretty simple to come together. And now what I'll have you do is you need to cut two end pieces, and that would be this end piece. So you have two end pieces, this side and this side. And those pieces are cut at 3.5 inches long by 2.5 inches wide. And we'll be putting them on either side just like that, right? And then for the angle cuts at the top, the way you'll get that is you'll just measure in from the top. Oh, let's flip it over. And as if that were the part we were going to cut. You would measure in 3/4 of an inch to the left on the top and 3/4 of an inch from the right, and the same thing 3/4 of an inch down on both sides. Then when you put the tick mark, at this point you will just angle cut and to each of the tick marks. Just give it a cut, and you'll end up with two pieces that look like this. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the box itself. I'm going to line this up. Same thing on the other side. And just line it up and press it in place. And there we go. So now we have the side pieces. Oh, let me just press it in place a little bit more. Okay. All right, so now for, there's a cross piece on the inside, and that's the piece that I have in here that I've attached the tools to. And oftentimes a toolbox or a garden box will have a center piece, and that's so that you can, you know, separate, you know, whatever you want to put in there. So if you're planning on doing some decorating inside your box, where, like I did, where you want to attach the pieces to the center piece, then you're going to have like a lot of different pieces inside. Then you're going to want this centerpiece, the divider. This measures 5.5 by 1 3/4, and it's scored at 1/2 inch on both ends. Or if you're putting it through the paper trimmer, you score it at 1/2 inch and 5 inches. All I did was score it at 1/2 inch, and I turned the paper and scored it at 1/2 inch again. Then when you fold it, when you fold the score lines, fold one end in and then fold the other end the other way. So you just flip it over and so that it makes a zigzag, right? So you see it's zigzagged. Now I'm going to put some adhesive on the two end pieces and slide it into the box. All right, so it should just slide right in, and then you need to kind of press the end piece, press it in place. Which can be a little bit tricky. All right. Yeah, it is a little bit tricky. All right. So I'm going to use my bone folder and just give it a press to make sure that the adhesive really sticks. Yeah. Okay. So then you should have your divider looking like that. All right, so now what we'll do is create the handle. So the handle measures 5.5 by 2.5. And on the short side, right, what you're going to do is score it every 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And so you'll end up with 5 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then on the long end, you will score it at 1/2 inch and 5 inches, or like the other one, you'll score it at 1/2 inch, turn the paper, score it at 1/2 inch. So now what we'll do is we're going to fold it on the score lines. And do the same with the edges. Okay, now we're going to cut the different sections. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because these are going to be the folds. We need to cut these because we're going to fold them down and glue them together. Okay. And I want to just do a little quick snip, just to cut down on the bulk. There we go. same thing on the other side. Okay. Let's see, did that cut? Great. Okay, that was pretty simple. All right, so now what we'll do is just take your piece and then fold it up to that top score line. So, you know, just fold it just like that. And then you'll put some adhesive on that piece. And then fold that top piece down. Okay. And now you have your handle. Now we're going to glue down the top, the end pieces. So you'll find that you have one side has two pieces. Now you might have the inclination to cut one of those off, but as I was listening to Liz Shannon, she discovered that having that extra piece gave the handle some extra durability. It made it more sturdy so that when you adhere it to the box, it really is a nice firm end piece, and that's what you want. You don't want a flimsy end. So take the side that has the two pieces and fold one of those down first. Put a little adhesive on it. Oops. And then fold one side over. Put a little adhesive. Fold it over. Hold that down a little bit longer. And then again. And yeah, this is going to be a really nice, strong end piece for when you adhere it to the top of the box. Okay, and then our last piece. I have a little bit extra glue that is kind of oozing out, but I'm just gonna, it's not, no one's gonna see it because it's gonna be attached to the inside of the box, so you won't see it. Let's see. Okay, so now we'll do the same thing with the other side. You find your, let's see, where was my side? That, here it is. Here's the side that has, I thought it did. I had another side that had two pieces. I thought it did. Oh yeah, this is the side, but they kind of are stuck. There we go. I knew I needed to free it up a little bit. Okay. So we're going to fold that down like we did the other one. There we go. Wasn't really sticking to the other piece, so I'm doing that now. Okay. Sometimes you have to hold it down a little bit longer because the liquid glue doesn't want to adhere as quickly as I might like. Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll just hold it in place a little bit. All right, so now I'm just gonna hold this down. And we'll let that dry just a little bit. I have glue that I'm trying to rub off my fingers. All right, so what I can show you now is stamping and cutting the tools. Now I've already done some of it. If you're going to do what I did, which is to put them onto the toolbox and have them be two-sided, then some of the tools don't line up exactly by just stamping them onto white cardstock, because, for example, the hammer, if you were to just stamp them together, stamp them each, then what would happen is you would end up with two pieces that did not line up together. So they would kind of go like this. Then they wouldn't, you need two pieces that go in opposite directions. And the way to do that, and the same thing with the vise. Now, the pliers, the file, and the awl, you can stamp those twice on your basic white cardstock and then glue them back to back. Whoops, hold on, one just flew away. Back to back, and they will be fine. Now, you may not have them be exactly, but what you'll have to do, though, is you will have to fussy cut them. So if fussy cutting isn't your thing, you're not going to like this. So I already did that, and you can then glue them back to back. All right, before I do that, let me show you how you can get the opposite image for the hammer and the vise. So what you're going to need a silicone craft sheet, and I need to get my stamp, my acrylic blocks. I need to get the right one. There we go. I got the right one. Okay, and you need some Memento Tuxedo black ink. Okay, and this is how you're going to do it. So you want to ink up your stamp just like you normally would. I really want to get it inked up nicely. Okay, and then you want to stamp it onto your silicone craft sheet anywhere. Press it down. And then, as you can see, you have an image. Now take, this is just a scrap piece. Take it, your white cardstock, and place it right over your image, and then give it kind of a back rub. And the image will transfer onto your cardstock. Like that. And this will be an exact opposite. So let's see. This is the one that I cut, that I've already fussy cut. This is one that I stamped on directly onto a piece of cardstock. So here's the first one, cardstock, and here's the one that I stamped and transferred from the silicone craft sheet. Now they're exact opposites, and when you go to glue them together, you flip one over, and now they're an exact match, back to back. And that's how you do it, using, and you just use that technique. For example, let's say, you know, like with the happy hedgehogs or the hello ladybug, and you want the hedgehogs to be facing each other. Just use that same technique. So stamp one out on your cardstock, but then stamp the second one onto your silicone craft sheet, and then fussy cut it, and you'll have two opposite ones. All right, so I'm going to apply some glue, and I'm again using my craft sheet. I could put the liquid glue directly on these, and you can too, but one of the things that I'm going to do is just take a regular old craft sponge and just dab it on. Okay. Because I want to control some of the glue that I'm putting on. And there we go. So now I have a two-sided hammer. All right. And I want to do the same. So I did the same thing with the vise. All right. I stamped it onto, I stamped one from white cardstock. I stamped the other one onto the craft sheet, put my white cardstock over it, rubbed on it, and it transferred in the opposite direction. So I want to put a little bit more glue on my silicone sheet. And glue it together. And now, same thing. I have a two-sided tool. Now I want to start putting these together. I just think this is just such a fun stamp set, and I want to thank Liz Shannon for her great idea of the garden box, which apparently in the UK, garden toolboxes are called trugs, T-R-U-G. I had never heard that before. But that's apparently what they're called. But if I hadn't seen her tutorial of that garden box, I never would have gotten the idea to make a toolbox. All right, so the pliers, what I decided to do with the pliers is to attach, what did I do with oh, never mind, I'll just use my scissors. I decided, because pliers have this little screw, I decided to use the rustic metallic adhesive back dots and adhere one of those to the, on either side of the pliers. Put one on the other side too. And that, I thought, made it, kind of gave it a more of a 3D effect. How cool that looks, right? I love that. All right, so there's that one. And then the last one is the plain, but we're going to adhere that to the front of the box. So I'm going to move this silicone craft sheet out of the way, and let's see. I did have, here they are, right in front of me. So I cut 2 pieces of the silver foil, and I embossed them. Actually, I embossed them first, and then I cut them. And these front pieces measure, oh, let's see. This measures, I'm pretty sure it measures 4.5 by 1 3/4. So let me just double check. 4.5. Yeah, 4.5 by 1 3/4. So 4.5 inches long by 1 3/4, which is going to measure all the way across the front and the top. And so we will adhere these 2 pieces on either side. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I think with the silver foil and the embossing on it, it kind of gives it, you know, the toolbox look. All right, we'll do the other side. There we go. Now, I think our handle is dry enough that we can adhere it. So you have one side that has, you know, the seam, and I'm going to put that facing down. So I'm just going to put some liquid glue on either end. And then I'm going to put that kind of at the top. And this is going to take some fun. Actually, you know what I might do? I might do it this way with it facing down, and then I can just press it down. So just, you know, oop, and I see what happens, and I didn't, I shouldn't have turned it. All right, so I'm just putting it on its end, and I'm pressing it in place. Just to wait until the glue dries a little bit, enough that I can move on to the next step. Okay. There we have it. So I have the plane, and I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of it. And we can do a little bit of stamping. I think I'm going to need some mini dimensionals because the space is just too small for a big one. Okay, take the backing off. stuck to me. Okay. I'm going to put that right in the front like the other one. Okay. Now, before I start doing the sentiments, I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and start adhering the tools. So for the hammer, it's kind of long. So I'm going to adhere the top part of the hammer to the handle, and then the bottom part of it to the divider. Because otherwise, you know, I don't want it to be like hidden. So I'm going to just go ahead and have the top part attached to the handle, and then I'll just put a little bit of glue on the bottom. Okay. I'll put it kind of like at an angle. Okay, and then I'm going to just put some liquid glue on the bottom of the pliers. Okay, let's see, and also the vise. Put the vise in there. And I'll want to put the file. Okay, let's see. We'll put the file in there. Oop. Oop. That one fell off. Oop. See if I can get it to stay. Oh, wait. Am I sticking it? Oh, I didn't put enough. I don't think I put enough adhesive on it. Okay, let's try it again. I have enough of it on my fingers, though. Not enough of it on the image, but plenty on my fingers. Okay, that's going to stay in place now. Here they are. There's all the pieces, and then if you flip it over, you can see the back side of them, well, except for the hammer. All right. Just trying to rub off the glue. Now I still have the awl. I'll put it aside. I might use it. Okay, so I need a piece of cardstock, and I need my stamp set. I'm going to say, let's see, strong, solid, dependable. Oh wait, you know what? I want to clean my stamp with my chamois, which looks like it's a mess, but it's perfectly good and it's clean. All right, let me put my hammer back in because I'm not going to need that anymore. I'll just go ahead and use this block. It's kind of like overkill, but that's okay. All right, let's stamp that image. Yeah. I hate it when it gives you a shadow. Let's try it again. Okay, I'm just getting frustrated now. Let's try it again. Let's try it on the other side. Better. Okay, much better. Yeah. Okay. It's important to clean your stamps really well. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out. I think I'm just gonna cut it on my paper trimmer. I do this sometimes where I don't measure it. I just put it on the trimmer and just start trimming it. And whatever size it is, it is. Alright, and I don't. I need this again because I am going to, I'm going to glue this onto, need this. I'm going to glue it on to the silver foil. And then I'm going to trim around it. I'm just going to eyeball it. Oh wait, you know what? Let me just do it this way. If you're not comfortable doing it this way, then just measure out a piece of white cardstock that's big enough to accommodate the sentiment, and then cut your silver foil just a little bit bigger. But I just didn't feel like doing that. All right, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. And then I'm going to put it at an angle. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And then I'm going to put more of these little metallic dots onto the sentiment label. One there and one there. They look like rivets. So now for the back, I don't need to finish doing all of the sentiment labels. You get the picture. Now for the ones on the back, I just used gray, basic gray cardstock to trim them. Now you can do that, or you can use the silver foil paper. Now on this side, I stamped the nails, and then I punched them out with a 1-inch punch that I happen to still have because I love punches. And then I also have a 1 1/8 inch scallop punch, and I'm gonna just back them. But if you don't have punches, or you have the circle dies, maybe you could use the circle dies, or if you don't have either one, stamp the nails onto a piece of white cardstock. Okay, I don't know what I did with the other circle. I did just have it. It probably fell on the floor for all I know. And you can just cut it into a square. Well, as soon as I find my other one. All right, I'm going to just put a dimensional on the back. Now for my sample one, I put designer series paper on it, but I'm not going to do that for this one. I'm just going to keep it with the gray cardstock. Now you could also put some of the silver foil. I'm just going to keep it like that. So as soon as, oh, here's my other piece. I got it right here. It blended in with my table. I didn't see it. Okay. Now. Didn't let the glue dry enough. All right, and then I'm going to just put that there. Now, so you can decorate the back, as I did, with the additional sentiments that are in the stamp set. It's the front says strong, solid, dependable, and the back says you're all that and more. Build in some time for yourself. This is such a great little project, and so I'm putting some silver foil Hershey Kisses in mine, and then I'm going to be giving it to my neighbor, who is, a helpful handyman to a lot of people in the neighborhood, and so I thought the silver foil would be appropriate for, because it's tools. And it's going to look like that, and it's so cute. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I know it kind of went a long time, so I appreciate you sticking with me. So I hope you give this this little project a try. Maybe give it for Father's Day or for a birthday. Try the pink one, same exact measurements. Give it a try, and I appreciate you coming on and joining me today, and I hope you'll join me again for my next project. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.